Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Bethany, Londyn here. And we are going over lesson 40 of calling in the one, 7 weeks to attract the love of our life. Hello, hello. Thanks for joining. And it's actually great to do this in the morning. I've been doing it lately at night because my schedule's been so busy, but doing it in the morning really sets the tone for the day. Hi, Tracy. Tessie Tracy. Tessie Tracy is awesome. Follow her. She does wordsmithing, I call it. Slam poetry. I think there's another name for it. But anyways, so lesson 40 is about living the questions. That's the title. And being in a state of curiosity. And this is fabulous. I know this is all about me finding the love of my life, you finding the love of your life. But being in a state of curiosity really supports us, period, in life. Versus trying to control and say this should be this way and that should be that way. So yeah. Hello, hello. Thanks for joining. So let's dive right into it. What she starts off saying is how we feel safe when we know how things are going to be. I mean, I don't even like scary movies. I can't stand scary movies. But the only way I've seen some scary movies is because I knew the ending. So because I knew the ending, I felt comfortable going and watching the movie. Or somewhat comfortable. So being in a state of knowing makes me feel safe and comforted. However, that's not necessarily how I get to go live my life because I really don't know what's going to happen every single moment of the day and what's going to happen in a year or 2 years, right? I have an idea, I have a vision, but when we let go of the knowing and surrender into a state of curiosity, lots of things open up. So that's really the lesson of today. So she says that in a world where tragedies happen and uncertainty reigns, knowing the answers provides a certain sense of comfort. Having acknowledged that, living the questions, as she titled this, as I've come to believe, provides a much more powerful platform from which to grow and expand. Living the questions requires us to sit with the messiness. Sit with the messiness of what it is to be human without the ability to tidy up everything immediately. So it's about being uncomfortable and letting go of the anxiety of the not knowing. Because that is an anxiety. Oh, thanks for the love. So we create a lot of stress in our lives because we don't know what's going to happen. And we start creating stories like, oh, well, I don't know if he's going to like me. I don't know what he thought about this question or what I should wear. Da, da, da. And we start thinking of all these things that aren't even happening. And it's this fear of not knowing. Hi. So, she refers to what Buddhists call the beginner's mind. And what Christ refers to as becoming little children. Do I have toner? Oh, Tinder. I do. I haven't been on it in a bit, but I do have it. So for most of us, this is giving up our addiction to information and certainty, which can provide us with profound challenges. Okay, so it's important to differentiate between questions that help us now versus questions that support us in receiving a quick answer. Because it's good to be in a state of curiosity, but not be attached to anything, right? So she talks about someone that came into her workshop. This is Catherine Woodward Thomas, the author. So she had this lady, 39-year-old Pamela. I love how she always adds the age. I think that's interesting. I guess that's why she does it. So 39-year-old Pamela goes into her workshop. And, of course, her workshop is about calling in the one. And so as she's doing this workshop, which is all about calling in the one, She has her own structure. She's done this a million times. This lady who's 39 comes in and just starts bombarding her with questions. She's not listening at all to what Catherine's putting down, nor does she trust her. So she's asking her, how should I dumb it down how much money I make so that he doesn't feel uncomfortable? Should I not have sex, or should I have sex soon because I don't want to lose him? She's just constantly asking all these questions, question after question, versus listening to the actual workshop. And she's being interrupting. And Catherine addresses her. Yes, calling in the one. So Catherine addresses her and says, the bottom line is that Pamela is living in this fear and this control. Pamela is addressing that she didn't believe any man would actually ever love her and take care of her, versus, what should I do? What should I do? What should I do? She isn't addressing how difficult it is for her to simply be present and be with someone, listen to someone. Nor is she addressing the fact that she didn't trust people enough to let them get close to her. So if we're doing a deep listening with this Pamela character, we're seeing all these other issues that are happening versus answering her question after question after question, because that's not really supporting her. What would support her is looking and taking a 30,000-foot view of what's really going on. So bottom line is, she didn't believe that someone was going to ever love her. She wasn't listening to the answers that Catherine was giving her, and little do you know, she left early because she had a headache. Well, of course she had a headache. Her head was working way too hard. So our lives require us to be deeply engaged in the right kind of inquiry, one that will reveal to us our own nature and the blocks that we are having that are keeping us from feeling our highest potential. So being in a neutral space, asking questions, allows things to unfold organically. So what distinguishes a really good question? Well, that's what we've been doing over these past few weeks. So I don't know if am I reading from the Bible? Catherine Woodward Thomas Bible, calling in the one. So yeah, these are the questions that we've been asking over the weeks. Like, was there trauma in your life? Was there abuse? Did you have trust instilled in you as a baby? Because that's the first lesson that we learn, is that we get to be completely surrendered and out of control to somebody else taking care of us. So depending on how these individuals, your parents or your, if you're adopted, whoever, are taking care of you, it's going to affect you over your life. Because from an age of 1 to 7, or baby to 7, we're really forming all these stories in our head that are ingrained in us for the rest of our life. So it's about diving in and around sexuality. Well, she's going to go a little bit more into detail here. So it's about, for me, something that I've been coached in, it's about being flirtatious with life. Like being the 3-year-old in life. Like a 3-year-old constantly asks a question. Why? Right? So is that the next page? Look, so you got me skipping pages, Tessie Tracy. So being in a state of questions like a child is basically where we're going to go with our homework. And being in a state of curiosity, not being attached to what it should look like, but being like, oh, this is cute. This makes me feel kind of fluttery inside. What is that? And just being open to it. And when it feels good, moving forward as far as sexuality. That's what comes to me. What is valuable to understand the impact that what is valuable is understanding the impact that the environment around you is having on you. And the empowering question will always see you as having the ability to make choices and facilitate change in your life. So based on, was that yesterday, being victim, it's about being in an empowering state where it's not about what the environment is having on you, but more so what you are having on your environment, and not being affected to it or by it. And then considering being in a state of responsibility where you're constantly making choices. And so in this chapter, we can be in a state of choice of curiosity. So instead of being like, I don't like that person over there. He's always being entitled and it's so annoying and this stuff, than being in a state of curiosity like, oh, that's interesting. He's just being entitled right now. I wonder where that comes from. Do you see the two different tones there? So just two different things. Hello, Russia. Thanks for joining. So she's always encouraging us to have productive and powerful questions, such as, in what ways am I allowing men to treat me disrespectfully? Who am I keeping in agreement with by attracting abusive people? Because when we're attracting abusive people into our life, what we're doing is we're honoring these negative stories or conversations about probably our future or earlier life about being abused. Does that make sense? So you may have to look back at some of the older chapters, but how does this poor treatment that I'm getting reflect the way I feel about myself? So if you find yourself, like I was talking to a friend last night, and she has found herself dating the same type of guy after guy after guy. She's constantly attracting these men that have addictions, whether it's sex, whether it's alcohol, whether it's pot, whatever it is. She's attracting these men that have addictions, and it's not supporting her as a person. And so I asked the powerful question of, what story, what conversation did you have early on in life that is supporting you in attracting these men with addictions? Because she's currently going through a breakup. Hi from Italy. And what she realized is that her mother was constantly leaving her to play bridge. Funny. It's kind of funny, but at the same time, it's not funny, because her mom may not go to her school, may not play with her, may have not just been there for her daughter, because she chose her addiction to bridge. And that created abandonment and created all these stories. So if we look at that, now she's in a relationship, and addiction can be workaholic, you know. There are so many different types of addiction. It could be food, it could be sugar, it could be working out. I know people that are workoutaholics. So she is fulfilling this negative story that she only has people with addictions in her life by creating these relationships. So now that she's aware of it, she can, and that came from being in a state of curiosity, not attachment, or this is how it is. I always attract addicted people. I always attract people that are, I know, how about that? Charlie Sheen, oh my gosh. That is so wrong. Anyway, when we're constantly attracting people in our life that have addictions, and then we make up a story about it of, I always meet bad people, I don't meet people that are supportive to me, then we're only fueling that fire. And it doesn't matter if I break up with this person because he has an addictive personality. The next person I'm going to attract is also going to have that situation. But once we're in that state of curiosity and we recognize it, then we can start to move. You're funny. Then we can start to move past it, right? It starts with awareness. And that's really what this whole entire book has been about, is awareness. Oh, I love it. That's awesome. What kind of class do you teach? So a lot of these questions like, why am I single? Why don't men like me? Why can't I get a date for Saturday night? Those are shame-based questions. We're creating shame around ourselves. We're saying that we're being bad. We're discounting who we are. And that's just not going to be supportive in a proactive and thoughtful relationship that's coming from a solid place. Oh, yeah. Drug and alcohol. Got it. So now we can shift those shame-based questions, right? Shift into, what am I getting out of being single? Versus, why am I always single, right? What am I getting out of being single? What is it about men that I don't like? Not what is it that they don't like about me, but shifting it so that we're in the powerful place. And thank you. Shifting it so that we're in that powerful place of curiosity, like the 3-year-old child. So I like this other thing. So she has this psychotherapist, and he wrote a book called Care of the Soul. And he encourages us to see through our self-destructiveness and depression, our flirtations with danger and our addictions, and see what they might be accomplishing in our lives and what they are expressing. So in other words, he is encouraging us to cultivate curiosity as a way of being, rather than always feeling so compelled to fix what we think is wrong with us. Yes, shame is not going to support us as a growth-seeking being. And I totally caught myself doing that this weekend at that workshop. Oh my gosh, with one of the prompts, one of the questions in that workshop, I don't know if you guys are jumping on for the first time, but staff to work a workshop on relationships. It was really powerful. And I caught myself completely shaming myself. And I'm like, what are you doing? But I didn't notice that. I did that until later that night when I journaled. So it is powerful to journal, people, and see what comes up. Okay, so now she goes into the book called The Road Less Traveled, which I own. I just haven't read it. And he talks about stages of development. So the first stage, stage 1, is about our ability to love others, is an underdeveloped ability to love others, much beyond what they can do for us. So people in this stage are unprincipled. They have little self-awareness and even less interest in cultivating it. Stage 1 revolves around trying to figure out how to get what you want without giving anything up. I'm reading Calling in the One by Catherine Woodward Thomas. So then we have stage 2, the formal institutional stage, which is a leap in consciousness from stage 1, but it's about no rules applying to me, and everything is about the rules. So the only real inquiry here has to do with studying and memorizing the rules, and the stage is about having a rigid mindset, thinking that we have all the answers. And remember from some of the other chapters, people, it's not about right or wrong. There's no such thing. There's neutral and learning. Okay, stage 3, the skeptic individual. We're evolving, more spiritually developed. These stage 3 people are often describing themselves as atheists and agnostics. So if you're on here listening and you are atheist or agnostic, you might be a stage 3 person, according to Catherine Woodward Thomas. So these people are highly principled, and they may be deeply involved in their communities and social causes. They're typically seeking the truth in some active way, which means that they are involved in asking questions to promote growth and awareness. Any stage 3ers? No stage 3. Okay, so no hearts on that one. Stage 4. Stage 4 is characterized by mystery and fascination with the interdependence of all things. Hi, Panama. So people in this stage are not afraid to acknowledge the enormity of the unknown, nor do they feel compelled to reduce the mysteries of the universe down to palatable, known quantities. People in stage 4 will dedicate themselves to religious order. Stage 4, yeah! But more often than not, they will develop their spirituality in more unconventional and individual ways. I love it. People are able to tolerate the emptiness that comes without having the answers. Stage 4. So here's where she talks about the children. So what might we learn if we approached each day as though it held infinite opportunities for growth and expansion, such as a child? Considering what we already know has brought us to where we are, and that where we are going is beyond what we already know, it seems that curiosity and a sense of wonder might be in order for us as well. I made it to say it. You're funny. So when you seek to ask deep and relevant questions with your life is only limited by the extent of your courage and willingness to learn and try something new. Mic drop. That's a mic drop right there. I'm going to say that one more time. When you seek to ask deep and relevant questions, your life is only limited by the extent of your courage and willingness to learn and try something new. Okay. Oh, and in closure for this chapter, she talks about a client named Michael who she worked with. And after a couple years, he invited her. Oh, thanks. So Michael, a client whom she hadn't seen in a couple years, invited her to his wedding. Yay! So he found his relationship. And so she asked him, what do you believe is the most important lesson that you learned in our work together that opened the gateway for love to come into your life? And what he said is that he learned to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. That it's okay to be unfamiliar, to be in unfamiliar territory where you don't know who you are or where you're supposed to be, what you're supposed to be doing, because that's where the possibility of love is. And that's what I'm doing by being on Periscope, because it was crazy uncomfortable in the beginning. I still get anxiety based on what the chapter is or what I might be talking about. And I've totally evolved. I'm comfortable. Here I am, you know, day 40. It might take 40 days. But you become comfortable with the uncomfortable and constantly stepping into this fear or this anxiety and acknowledging it, but saying, hi, thank you, love you, but I'm going to keep moving forward. And I'm going to go where I don't want to go. Because that's where the magic is. Magic is outside of the box. Okay. Wait, was there a quote that I wanted to read? I don't know. Okay, so the homework. The homework. Oh, thanks for the love. The homework is to journal. To write open-ended questions that will help you to examine the issues or problems that are present in your life. So, for example, in what ways does it work for me to be alone? Well, let's see. It allows me to work. It allows me to get things done. It allows me to meet lots of people and not be judged. Something like that. What can I learn from this experience that will help me to become a more loving person? So, what am I learning from being alone? That I can work a lot? Yeah, that's not going to be supportive. So after you write your questions, take a few moments to write on each of them and just allow yourself to shift it. So not why am I alone? Why do I choose to be alone? Why haven't I found a guy that resonates with me? Why haven't I found somebody that I resonate with? Maybe I'm being judgmental. Maybe I'm being limiting in all my characteristics. I mean, you can go through all those chapters that we've been reading, and I am slowly uploading them on YouTube. I think I've gone to like 19. So you can go to YouTube, Bethany Londyn, and fast forward, because the laundry gets folded the right way. Oh, so, bonus, there's always a bonus homework. So the bonus homework is to be that child throughout the day. Just stop. Maybe even set a timer to stop yourself every 47 minutes. I just picked a random number. And when you stop yourself, to be like, oh, what's going on here? Like, I don't know the nature of this computer. What makes this computer? Like, be that 3-year-old. This is interesting, this camera thing. It's so cool that it, like, is looking back at me. Like, being a kid and just, like, going to that childlike state in nature. So notice everything you see in your path, landing your eyes on object after object. Ooh, 47 is your number. Yay! I called it out for you. I didn't even know. So being in this state of childlike nature and saying things like, I don't know what this is. This is a rug. I don't know what this rug is. I don't know what the nature is of this chair. What makes up this laptop, this person? What makes up this person? Who are they? Like, how are they feeling today? What are they glowing? What can I do that might support them, like radiating like a little light bulb? So she asks us to do this for up to 1 minute each time that we do. So every 47 minutes or whatever, just catch yourself. and being present. It really forces us to be in this present mindset as well. So that is the lesson for today. Lesson 40. Okay, lesson 41 tomorrow is listening with an open heart. Ooh, that's going to be good. Listening with an open heart. So that's for tomorrow. So you guys enjoy today. Be in that childlike state of curiosity about anything. I love dimples too. I don't have dimples. You know? So whether, even if it's at work, being in a state of curiosity, like, oh, I'm frustrated because nothing is happening with this project. And then, I wonder why nothing's happening with this project. I wonder why people aren't receiving it the way that I want. I wonder why I'm not getting the support that I need. I wonder what I'm doing to create the fact that I'm not getting support. I wonder what I'm doing, being in a state of responsibility. I want, like, a little-ish. So really going there into being powerful, present, being in a state of responsibility and ownership, and being curious. Curious. And that is the lesson for today. So I will jump on later with what I'm grateful for too. Oh my gosh, you're funny. Journal about what you are drawn to about me. Journal that and the characteristics that I have, and then develop them within yourself, and you will attract the perfect person. That's what I have for you. Okay, it is a beautiful day. It's a beautiful fall day. It's amazing, and I'm grateful to be here sharing this message with you guys, and I'm going to jump on later to share what I'm grateful for, because it is so powerful to be in a state of gratitude and see the abundance that is everywhere in our life. And spread the love, and share this Periscope. I think I'm supposed to do that in the beginning. I always forget. If you guys want to share this Periscope with other people, your community that you feel might benefit, that would be fabulous. Because did I freeze? Did I just freeze? Because I got a phone call. I've never experienced that before. But anyway, spread the love, share the message. You can share it also with people on your own, through your mouth. Let's get everyone to embrace their childlike manner. Okay, love you guys. Thank you. We'll talk to you later. Thanks for the love. Bye.